There are 8,800 developers and builders registered with CREDAI, that's Confederation of Real Estate Developers in India. I knew the number of developers across India was big, yet 8,800 took me by surprise. And what's more, this doesn't capture all developers. There could be an equal number, at least half of those who are not registered with any industry body like CREDAI. So in such a vast sea of companies, how do you choose who to trust with the biggest saving chunk of your life to buy a property? Inevitably, it comes to one thing, the reputation, the brand of the developer. Do you know of him? Have you heard of the company? Who are they? All of that gets captured in the brand. Welcome everyone to the debate on power of brands in real estate. Today with my panelists, I'll get to the bottom of what makes a brand in realty. What works, what does not. With me on the show today, Jagbastian Nazareth, Chief Executive Officer, Puravankara Projects. Advisor. In the Delhi studio, Nayan Raheja, Executive Director, Raheja Developers. Sameer Jasuja, Founder and CEO of Prop Equity. We'll also be joined in a short while by Sonal Dabral, Chairman and Chief Creative Officer, DDB Mudra Group. Gentlemen, thanks very much. It's a very interesting topic and I'm sure all of us have a lot to speak of. But Kalpesh, I'm going to start with you. You know, the industry has been attached with terms like unorganized, family-led, unprofessional. This is changing, that's for sure. But is it changing too slowly?
Yes and no. Industry changes at the pace that it does. You know, some might find it slow, and some might find it just okay enough. Personally, for people in the business, I know that people are making very heavy investments of their time and capital to change the way they do business. And one of the ways that everyone is changing the way they do business is investing heavily in the creation of brands. And I think branding, as today's topic goes, is an extremely important concept for the sector, especially at this point of time in the life cycle of the Indian real estate sector. As you've gone from an extremely unorganized to a very, very organized sector, the demand's exploded, supply's exploded. It's no longer people in their 40s and 50s buying real estate 2 to 3 kilometers of where they live. People in their 20s and 30s are buying real estate. They're starting their research on the internet. They're talking to their friends. They're looking at websites. They're looking at brochures. They're buying houses in cities other than the cities they live in. They're buying second homes. And at a time like this, I think investment in brands is extremely important for most players, and that's what you see happening.
Kalpesh, would you agree? I'm sure that must be the reason why you're associating with a name like Donald Trump, that if you get the right name, a right brand, there is an appetite in the market for a big brand.
Yeah, absolutely, Manisha. To take a step back, real estate essentially is a consumer products business. Consumer is buying the most expensive product that she is ever going to buy in her lifetime. And as you've seen, and as we've all seen across various consumer products, brands always command a premium. But what does a brand communicate, right? At the most basic level, a brand communicates a certain level of quality. It communicates a certain level of product and service experience. Going beyond, it communicates certain attributes that a consumer might want to relate themselves to. When you then jump into luxury, a good brand communicates all of the above, and it also communicates things like sophistication, things like status, things like wealth. And what we've seen across the world and in India is that good brands consistently command a significant premium. For example, for Trump properties around the world, and there's statistics from New York, Toronto, Istanbul, Manila, we've seen a premium of anywhere from 20 to 60% internationally, and I think that will be replicated here in India as well.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break with that thought. A big name, an international name definitely works. But what else works to create a brand? Is it also hip-sounding names for projects? Is it great designs and stylish homes? Celebrities endorsing a brand, or just a great creative? Are there other innovations which will extend to out-of-box thinking, which could also make a brand last in real estate? All of that when we come back. According to an Ernst & Young 2011 report, real estate companies spend over 2,200 crores in print ads alone, which is around 42 crores a week, out of which Mumbai spends 360 crores in a month, that's 7 crores a week. Add to this hoardings, digital, television advertising and property fairs, and the figure could go up substantially. The question is, how well is this money being spent? And can big spends make the big brand in real estate? Jack, first up, we all talked about how it takes time to build a brand. It takes quality of delivery to build a brand. But if you look at the way spends are happening, it seems that most developers are hoping that big bucks can get them. To get noticed is one thing. Clearly, celebrities manage to get you noticed, but can they really influence the buyer's decision? Kalpesh, what's your thought process in this country which is crazy about Bollywood and cricket? Is that an easy way out? Hire a celebrity? Would you consider that for any of your future brands?
Well, you know, celebrity-led endorsements always help in some way. You know, but as we've discussed, branding for me is a much more holistic process, and it starts with the product first. And if I were to pick a brand to associate with my product, you know, I would look at more of a product-oriented brand than a celebrity brand, or maybe a combination of both. What you get with a product-led brand is that you know that the brand is getting involved. You know, the consumer knows that the brand is very, very involved in all aspects of the product creation. You know, right from design, they're bringing in their best global practices into India in making sure that the product is you know, designed in the right way. They're right through the execution and the sales of the product. So at the end of the day, the consumer will know that the product that she is getting is of international standards. You know, look, it's much like you know, stepping into a Four Seasons or a Ritz-Carlton or an Aman resort around the world. You know that no matter, you know, who owns the hotel or who built it, because Four Seasons has put their name on it, you know, one can expect a certain level of quality. So you know, if I were to pick between product-led versus celebrity-led brandings, I would probably go with product-led branding. Having said that, celebrity, you know, branding has its place, and it works. It works very well at an emotional level. It works very well when it comes to product recall. You know, you look at watches to luxury cars, etc. They all have celebrity endorsements, but you know, when a consumer is buying, let's say, an Omega watch, you know, she's not buying it because Abhishek Bachchan is endorsing it. She's buying it because Omega is a great brand and a great watch in and of itself. She doesn't believe that Abhishek had anything to do with the design of the watch. She's buying it. Abhishek helps in creating brand recall. So that's my limited point.
Right before the break, we were discussing what it takes to create a brand in real estate. Do you do it organically, or do you actually do it inorganically by bringing on big names on the board and suddenly getting up there and becoming a known real estate developer? Kalpesh, your views on it, because yes, we were saying that there are various approaches to it. There's no right or wrong way of doing it at all.
Sure, Manisha. You know, look, there are no shortcuts to success, and good brands take a lot of time to build. They take a lot of sweat and blood. In real estate, that means you have to deliver 1 or 2 or 3 products that people can touch and feel and experience on their own before you have a decent brand. Really strong brands take decades to build. But what do you do if you have a product that you need to sell immediately and you're a first time or a second time developer? You haven't really delivered a lot of stuff in the past. How do you make sure that your product achieves its full sort of revenue potential? What if you have the intention of delivering the highest level of luxury and the highest quality, but you just don't have a brand? What do you do in that case? And I think in those scenarios, tying up with either domestic or international brands. So from a revenue perspective and from a profit perspective, you're benefiting. But what it also does for you in the long term, and from the perspective of long-term brand creation, is that you all of a sudden get associated with an extremely strong brand, which then elevates your brand in turn, right? So it's kind of like piggybacking, and I think it's one mechanism to grow your brand over the long term.
Okay, pleasure to have you with us. So power of brands in real estate, that's our topic of discussion today. And well, it is of course quality, delivery, which is the biggest brand building exercise that you can do if you are in real estate. If the customer gets his flat in time and you've got that record on projects over 3 to 4 projects, that's the best starting point. If you don't, there are lots of tools out there to get noticed. Engaging with agencies is happening. Out-of-box ideas are happening. Thanks very much to all my viewers for joining me today. I'll see you same time again tomorrow.